What is happening, everybody? You are back with the Real PG, bringing you another MLB player prop video for today, Friday, July the 14th. Before we get into today's video, if I could please ask you guys to smash that like button, and if you've not yet gotten subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as well as turning your post notifications on to make sure you're getting the most up-to-date information on each and every slate. Quickly before the picks, would like to quickly talk about Sleeper. So the Sleeper app is currently being used as the main app for my Patreon right now. Sleeper does things different over there. Instead of a static pay system, they use a multiplier system, as every prop does have a different level of difficulty to it. Some props are more likely to hit than others. Based on the juice, they will give you a multiplier that fits that prop. So therefore, you're not taking a prop that, on Prizepicks, say, has a little bit more risk, but you're only getting that same whatever value depending on how many players you're running. Over on Sleeper, you can specifically take the level of risk and put it to where you want it to be. So if you want to have a slip with five guys under home runs, it's probably going to hit, yeah, but it's not going to pay a ton. Or you could take something like three guys to hit a home run and you're going to get paid 20x on a three-man slip. So you have tons of options over on Sleeper, guys. Not only that, they have every line that the sports books offer. If you can get somebody's hits on the sports book, you can get it on Sleeper. If you can get somebody's singles on the sports book, you can get it on Sleeper. So really, you're not limited to just the lines that they want to give you. You have access to every line available on Sleeper. So get signed up today, guys. Promo code capital letters PG will get you a 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. It will get you exclusive access into the Sleeper Squad. The Sleeper Squad is more or less a Discord within the app, guys. So take a quick look at what it does look like. So the Sleeper Squad looks something like this. So you have a chat, you can share plays, and at the end of the day it grades the plays. These start just as a slip, and you can copy it and tail it in the single click of a button. um, so yeah, this will look as what it looks like beforehand. It'll tell you it's a five-man ticket worth 8x almost. These are the plays on it. You can click it and take it right onto your screen and have that lineup. Then you can add, you can take plays away from it if you don't like it, and then you can send it through. So they offer you some great ease. It's a way of communication with me, and you get to see all of the plays that I do share. I share every play I make on the weekends, and then during the weekdays, due to Patreon, I don't share as much, but I'll generally try to share one slip with at least everybody in the group. So get signed up today again, guys. Promo code capital letters PG. Also, in the descriptions below, there will be a link to the Discord. It is free, guys. Come check it out. Tons of great information in here. People dropping their slips, all sorts of stuff. Talk about the different plays, everything you could want in regards to the MLB. It's happening in this Discord right now, guys. Again, link is in the description. Link for the Patreon is in the description, and then Sleeper is a mobile-only app. Get it in your app store. Promo code PG. All right. Normally we are looking at props over on Sleeper, but since it's Friday and we have a $20 flex slip to play for free, let's head over to Prizepicks. Do things a little different today, and I really took a different approach today and played some props that I would never even consider playing, just because of how difficult it's become to hit on Prizepicks, guys, with the way they shade every line against you, more or less. If it's a 5.5 strikeout line with juice to the under, they make it 5. If it's a 5.5 line juice to the over, they make it 6. They can't just feed you a line that has some juice on it. Everything is very, very forced against the way you would want it as a bettor, and has great odds for Prizepicks, obviously. So I went to the pitches thrown category today for 4 of my 6 plays, and we'll go through those. But let's start off with the other 2. So I got Brian Bayo going over 31.5. I had it at 30.5, but since I was too slow to find the other plays I wanted to match it with, I had to take this at a bump. So Bayo, let's take a look first. I have to do this on 2 sites because my Prizepicks isn't working on um, the Brave browser for some reason. So let's take a look at Bayo and his Vegas lines first and foremost. Pretty cupcake matchup against the Cubs today. So Bayo, for his pitching outs, used heavily to get through 6 complete, which would get him the bonus as long as he is to let in 3 runs or less. He is juiced at under money on the 2.5 at minus 125. So we're likely giving up 2 runs, possibly 3 runs. Either way, I think quality start bonus is in there for sure. I do think Boston gets the win for sure. And I think Bayo should be ahead when he leaves the game after 6 or 7 innings. I'm assuming he probably goes 7 today, but we'll see. Also, juiced heavily over on 4.5 strikeouts. So if we were to give him even a worst case scenario, just 6 innings of work with a quality start bonus, that's 22 points right there. Take away 6 for 2 earned runs, that brings him to 16. We'll just give him 4 strikeouts instead of the 5 that he's clearly juiced at. This is a worst case scenario. So we're at 16. 4 strikeouts is 12 more. That's 28 fantasy points, and the win is 34. On the worst case scenario, we're looking at 34, and his line is only 31.5, guys. So say he doesn't get the win, okay? That brings us back down to 28, but he gets 5 strikeouts and he goes over 6 innings, we're hitting anyways. So there's plenty of ways for Bayo to get there. At 30.5, if you got it prior to the bump, all you need is 5 strikeouts along with 6 innings of work and 2 runs. Very, very easy ask. That one extra fantasy point they added on, though, makes a huge difference in the scheme of things, but I'm still comfortable taking him at 31.5. All right, so next, I'm taking Urias under 5 hits allowed, and let's just drag this over. So he has not been great against the Mets in the sense of strikeouts, in the sense of innings pitched. We have 5.1, 5.1 before he was, that was only 1 hit, so maybe an injury there. 1 inning, 2.2. So we can kind of throw all 3 of these games out the window. 2 most recent games, 21 and 22. 5 innings, 5.1 innings, 5 strikeouts, 4 strikeouts. But if you do look, only had 3 hits against him here, 2 hits against him here, and then 1, 4, and 5. So even in his worst game, he only gave up 5. Career, never given up more than 5 hits versus the Mets. The Mets cannot buy a win, cannot buy anything good to happen right now. So give me Urias under 5. Maybe it pushes, but I like the odds on the under. If we're looking at this year, sorry guys, if we're looking at this year's, let's take a look at Urias and what he's doing on the road. He's only had 1 game go over, that's his K, is my fault, hits allowed. So on the road, he is kind of on the opposite side of what we're looking at, line being at 5. But again, this is a matchup with the Mets, who can't buy themselves a win. And when we look at the home road splits for Urias, so let's go to the all. All of these games came on the road. Literally all of them did. So he obviously struggles on the road more than he does at home. But in the matchup where we have seen he has been effective, and I do only, another thing to note that might help us with this under, if we go into here, we look at his pitch count lately, guys. So we look at his road, especially his road pitch count. So look at the trend down to the mid-60s for the last 2 games, guys. So say he only does pitch 65, 70 pitches. He didn't get blown up terribly in either of those games. Just 6 hits in both. So if we get another, low pitch game out of Urias, which we've seen he's not gotten very much leash, he's not gotten very far into the games versus the Mets. But again, this is a very different Mets team. But This is kind of this again. This is play 6 on the day. It's the last one I wanted to get in. I wasn't sure it was either going to be a fantasy points for Urias over or hits under, just because the Mets are struggling as hard as they are. Um, it's not great, but again, we're on Prize Picks. We're forced into plays that aren't going to be great, especially if we're trying to come up with a 6-man. So let's quickly look over these pitch counts. And to do that properly, all you're going to need to do is find out if they're playing at home or on the road. So let's go through. We got Verlander playing at home today. Let's go take a peek at this. Pull up Verlander. And here's where I'm coming up with my over-unders on these guys. So he's at home today. We're looking at 96 pitches on the low of the season. Everything in the last 5 games, 98 plus, right? The line, 97.5. Again, nothing in the last 5. 98 was the low, at the high of 117, and the average of about 101, 102. Over these 3 games, that's a pretty solid average. This is an outlier here, but these 4 games, the 98, 107, 100, and 102, is right in that wheelhouse where I think we're going to see him again. So that's an over for me, as only 1 game on the whole season has been under, and it was against Tampa. So give me the over for Verlander. Next, we're going to be looking at Corbin Burns, who is going to be playing from the road today. So let's take a look at Burns. I did have a creamer under pitches thrown, but I ended up taking it out for the Urias hits. I hope I don't end up hating myself for that one. But here we go, Corbin Burns. Look at his last 4 specifically here, guys. This is over the last 30 days now. Last 35, 40 days almost. From June 2nd, yeah, we're looking at almost 45 days. So 100 pitches, 99, 99, 99. He's got a cupcake matchup with Cincy today, and he's at 94.5. We haven't seen under 94.5 since May. So, and even then, he was coming close, but this last month he has got that pitch count up, especially when he is playing on the road. If we look at the home games, they're a lot lower. But overall, recently, you can really spot out the home games and the away games here. The home games have been lower pitch count. He's been struggling harder. He's been pitching better from the road. He's been having a longer leash on the road, and that has been a clear trait all year long. So give me the over on Burns pitches at 94.5. Next, we're going to be looking at Charlie Morton, who is playing at home today. So let's go back to Morton. We'll look at his overall first, sure. So overall, he's in the upper 90s to mid 100s there, playing at home. We're looking at everything 98 plus, except for 1 game. Everything else is over 98. 96.5 is the number today. Give me the over. Shohei Ohtani, 96.5. He has been an absolute demon to this Houston team and just harassed them on both sides of the plate, pitching and hitting. But Ohtani is going to be playing at home today. So let's take a look at Ohtani. And we're going to be looking at his overalls first. Upper 90s to 100 pitches all season long. 103, 98, 99, 109, 107, 97, 99, 101, 102, and 86. Last game against San Diego happens. Tough game. Tough matchup there. Let's look at home. So digging back through, let's go even through the beginning of May. Nothing under 97 pitches. And Ohtani is at 96.5. Give me the over, guys. So that is where we're at today. Feel free to exclude Urias if that's scary to you. It's a little scary to me, but I do want to go for the 25x. I'm good on 10x. I think these 5 top plays are very, very strong. And I think Urias does get there for us, guys. So, like I said, I already placed it as my flex entry. No canceling, none of that funny shit. So that is what we were running today, guys. That being said, wish you the best of luck if you are tailing. Again, this is the list real quick. Brian Bayo over 31.5 fantasy points. If you caught him at 30.5 by chance, you have a great number, and that 1 point hopefully does not come into play, even though it could, as we talked about. Verlander over 97.5 looked pretty clear, as nothing was under 98. Burns, another strong one. Morton, we looked at, nothing was under 98 since anytime recent, and Otani was in that same 98 pitch area, being the low since May, I think we said it was. So give me that over, and that's gonna be the 6 for you today, guys. Taylor, best of luck, and until the next one, peace.